According to SantiagoCompostela.net, the Camino de Santiago is a large network of ancient pilgrim routes stretching across Europe and coming together at the tomb of St. James in Santiago de Compostela in northwest Spain. Every year, hundreds of thousands of pilgrims go on this journey for different purposes, some religious, others spiritual, and quite a number for sport. My purpose was a combination of all of the above, though mostly I just wanted to challenge myself. Can my legs truly carry me and all that's on my back? Can I survive the cacophony of my thoughts for hours on end? And can I find something I didn't know I was searching for? When I moved here, I knew the Camino was something I needed to experience. And so on Semana Santa, instead of prancing from one European city to another, as originally planned, I took my 50-liter backpack and hopped on a bus to Galicia, Spain. Others start their pilgrimage in France, Portugal, and other popular points, but with only a limited number of days off work, I chose the Camino Ingles that had me starting at Ferrol, approximately 113 kilometers from the cathedral. After one last filling Filipino dinner with my roommate Janica, I strapped on my green backpack and heavily found my way to the Madrid Estación Sur, where my bus was waiting for me. I was 8 hours away from my starting point, and I was beginning to come down with a cold. The 3 sets of clothing I had on my back felt heavier than they should have.
Ready ka na ba?
No!
Bye!
Hi! See you in 12 days or more.
But my optimism wasn't wavering, and I kept repeating the words I'd learned through research and stories. These were the very words that got me through the next week. The Camino provides, the Camino provides, the Camino provides. And provide it did. After spending a night on a stuffy, cold bus, my friend Billy and I found ourselves in Ferrol, a quiet town by the water. I looked around and saw pastel-colored buildings decked with blind windows, tiny boats lining the marina, and quaint cafes in every block. This was day 0, the day before the official start, the recovery period our phlegm-infested throats and clogged sinuses very much needed.
Hello! It is 3 p.m. and we finally decided to head out and eat. My voice is non-existent, so I probably won't be talking at all.
Besides the glorious siesta, our first encounter with Galician cuisine was definitely the highlight, followed by a hoarding of breakfast snacks from the hotel morning buffet. We needed all the nourishment we could get our hands on anyway. Day 1 was a 14-kilometer journey from Ferrol to the town of Neda, and while I still felt a little chilly and off, my spirits were high, and I was just happy to be on the road again, even more so on foot. Something about the burn in my legs and the sun overhead just gives me life.
Good morning vlog! We are officially walking the Camino and we just experienced, well, I did.
She did. Okay, just to be clear, she did.
I experienced my first Camino. Gracias! People are so nice.
So nice.
So during breakfast, I was so worried about my throat and stuff. So I drank orange juice and tea and all sorts of things. But I didn't realize that was going somewhere. That liquid was going somewhere.
It's going down, down.
And then my hip belt was pressing onto my puson so much that 5 minutes into the walk, I needed to pee so bad. But we were in the middle of nowhere, no cafes, nothing. And finally, whew, I made it. I ran to the bathroom. We saw an open cafe and the woman was nice enough to let us go. Yeah. I think they understand that we're just walking and struggling. Okay, so this is how we know where we're going. There are the concha, no?
Yeah.
And they direct us to the way. Right now we are 109 kilometers away from our destination, which is Santiago de Compostela.
At 1 p.m., we settled into our albergue for the night, a small bungalow sitting on a meadow by the Ferrol River.
Okay, a little update. We are at the albergue. And it's super cool because it's really just open for pilgrims. And then we needed to get our numbers just so, I don't know, just so they can count, I guess, how many people are here.
Second one here, second and third.
Yeah, second and third people. Here, there's a notice there saying all pilgrims are requested to be in the hostel between 8 o'clock and 8:30 for registering. So basically, the person in charge will just get here
tonight.
It's 1 p.m. now, and we have the entire day to explore Nila or just rest, maybe. Dinner for tonight. So I was just finishing up here and writing on my journal, and then I ended up talking to this other pilgrim who ended up giving me his food and a pack of chips. Now I just met another one who's a priest. So it's so cool.
I have so many anecdotes that I want to share from this trip. Words on my journal that immortalize this incredible experience for me. If you want a glimpse into my thoughts and scribbles, they're available on my blog, sunkissedsomewhere.com. Day 2 was a tough one. After the 14-kilometer warm-up of the previous day, we walked approximately 28 kilometers, stopping by the glorious bay town of Ponte de Ume for lunch, and continuing on to isolated Minho for that afternoon.
We are by the side of the road.
We're dying.
Whew. We just completed this ascent. And we're not even halfway there yet.
Not even halfway there.
Throughout the day, we walked through rural neighborhoods, forests, and even dirt roads that reminded me of The Walking Dead. Every little thing entertained me. Everything was new. Everything was exciting.
Hello! So, just another cool thing about being on the Camino de Santiago, people leave out coolers, and then they have a little chest. Yeah, a chest that you can put coins in. So yeah, thank you to Aladro, #bebida_x follow. Have you ever heard the wolf cry to the blue corn moon? Or ask the grinning bobcat why he grins? Can you sing with all the voices of the mountains? Can you paint with all the colors of the wind?
We eventually arrived at our albergue at 5 p.m. and I spent the rest of the day catching up on laundry, planning the route with Billy, eating, and of course, chatting with my mom. The following morning at 3 a.m., day 3, the weather attempted to dampen our spirits.
Good morning. I have some news. It's day 3 and it's 6:30 a.m. and it's pouring outside. My laundry is outside, so and I only have like 3 sets of clothes, so the clothes that I hung out to dry yesterday, they're gonna be drenched and they're gonna be wet, and I'm gonna be carrying them all the way to the next town. So yeah, also we don't have food for today because yesterday was a Sunday and all the grocery stores are closed.
Interestingly though, the 2 priests we met while traveling invited us to join them for morning mass at 7 a.m. that day. Travel chalice and all. Afterwards, I put on my raincoat and my waterproof pants and sealed my backpack with my neon green cover. Nothing can stop us from moving forward.
So today the rain jackets are out and we're eating chips for breakfast. well. So you know what they say when they say the Camino provides? It does. We were walking towards the main road with no breakfast, just chips. This stranger passes us by and she's like, oh, are you a pilgrim? There's a churreria really nearby. You should get the best churros in town. And now we're here having breakfast and coffee, which is perfecto.
After a few wet, windy hours, we found shelter in a small church in Betanzos, the town where we were staying for the night.
Hello, update. We got ourselves a room, a private room instead, because the albergue in Betanzos only has 6 spots because it's under renovation. So we have no choice but to actually just find a place that will house us for the night.
After a day of recuperation and Netflix in our overpriced room, we hiked into day 4, determined to get a spot in the next albergue so we didn't have to splurge again. A few hours, several winding roads, and a lot of kilometers later, we found ourselves reunited with pilgrims we had previously met on the trail. We made it to the albergue in Presedo and feasted on delightful empanadas and croquetas. Finally, a cheap place to rest and filling meals that did not burn holes into our pockets. Tractors came and went, bunks squeaked as we positioned and repositioned our aching bodies to sleep, and light slowly faded from our windows. On day 5, we went past our halfway mark and we were 50 kilometers closer to our destination. Anticipating the steep incline on that part of the route, we had decided to send our backpacks ahead to Bruma. What we didn't know though was that Bruma was not going to be the finish line for the night.
Hello! We're not sleeping in Burma tonight. Surprise!
Bruma.
Bruma. Ay, Burma. Akala ko Burma. Where are we going? Ordes. It's a town in between Bruma and Seguero. So,
either that or this.
nag-joke na naman siya! Pagod na ako. Ilang araw na ako nakikinig sa gato. Oh.
Before we left, we had lunch with our newfound friends, and I discovered Matthias.
Good morning! It's day 6, so we walked from Bruma to the point in Ordes where we could get a taxi to the town so we could get a hotel for the night. So now we are at the taxi stand waiting for another taxi to get us back to our last point so we can walk from that exact point, because we can't cheat. Because it was in the middle of nowhere and there were no accommodations, well, there was one bar, but that was pretty much it. So at least here, last night we were able to grocery shop for supplies, and then I went to an ATM to get cash, and then laundry. We did laundry too. So
The walk from Bruma to Ordes and Ordes to Seguero ended up being the most picturesque of all, and I thoroughly enjoyed walking through lush forests and winding roads lined with fields of wildflowers. At this point though, I've been walking for so long that I've gotten extremely sick of the voice in my head. Surprise, surprise! On the Camino, I learned that there is such a thing as too much introspection, even for me.
For you. Oh my god, may kasunod ako.
Billy and I typically walk by ourselves, almost never side by side, but we always had each other within visible distance. But today was extra rough on my ankles and my knees, so I made multiple pit stops and told him to go on ahead. I wanted to take my sweet time and listen to my body. That was the beauty of the Camino anyway. It was your journey and your journey alone, no matter how many are walking alongside you. It was almost as if I did not want the Camino to end. We were only 15 kilometers away from the Camino de Santiago de Compostela, and yet I took every opportunity there was to pause. Snack breaks, pee breaks, photo breaks. In my mind, I was dragging out the hours so I didn't have to go back to my daily routine. But we made it, inevitably, and it was glorious all the same.
Billy, we did it!
The next few days blurred into a haze of post-Camino melancholy, eating our way through Santiago, going off on our own to explore, walking and sitting and aching to walk some more. I recounted the days on my journal, reading the entries whose words eventually found their way into the vlog I'm so grateful you just watched. Weeks later, here I am back in my Madrid life and I'm still missing the road. There is nothing quite like the Camino. The warmth and solidarity shared by its pilgrims, the challenge of its vastness, the thrill of closing the distance, the stunning route just teeming with life, and the unbreakable inner voice that tells you it will provide. The Camino provides, after all, and provide it did. If you got this far with me, thank you so much for watching my journey. It's an honor to share it with you. As we pilgrims say, buen camino.